Welcome to What the F***. I'm Jim 2, your host and centerfold of the year for the magazine Small Penis Connoisseur. Apparently Skype isn't working today, so what are we going to do? What comes next on the teleprompter? Yep. Oh, they belong in a group so selective the College of Cardinals select them after picking the Pope. But enough about altar boy janitors. Let's meet our panelists. In the far chair, she's cuter than a Smurf, smurfing a My Little Pony. It's library worker Jenna Christ. In the middle chair, it's international woman of intrigue Cynthia Gregory. She's so mysterious, Encyclopedia Brown gave up on figuring her out. In between them, it's attorney at law Mel Patterson. If penetrating legal insight was a bikini top, he'd come on a young woman's chest. Finally, sitting next to me, he's the host of the live KMBT show John Wants Answers. It's John Vink. If illuminating questions was a freezer, butchers would stick their meat inside of him. Issue number 1. Will you swill if you can take a pill? Researchers at UCLA, go Golden Bears, have developed a cocktail of alcohol metabolizing enzymes that speedily reduces blood alcohol levels in drunk mice. One of the enzymes, oxidase, includes a byproduct of hydrogen peroxide which can be harmful. As such, it needs to work in concert with another enzyme that decomposes the hydrogen peroxide rather than turning you blonde. Initial findings showed that mice that received the injection sobered up much quicker than compared to those that didn't get the enzyme treatment. Speaking of someone who needs sobering up,
hey. Where are we? Where are we?
I think the audio's really funny.
You are at home.
What's going on?
Gauze.
Looks dopey.
No, don't touch it. Don't touch it. You had your wisdom teeth out.
yeah, I should really stop videotaping my dates.
Oh
no! Okay, Jenna, instant sober pill. Good idea or bad idea?
I guess it would help eliminate drunk driving.
Right. So is that a good idea? That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, or what if you're like, oh man, I really overdid it. Whoop, I'm cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So initially that's a good idea, but can you think of, because of that, would there be any adverse effects from that? The unintended consequences of a sober me up pill?
No?
Well, see, she's a pretty...
You're fishing for something. I don't know what.
I think I know.
See, that's a test if you're a pretty woman or not. You can't think of any negative impacts of a sober pill.
I'm carrying them around in my purse now then. Especially when I'm around you.
Cynthia, good idea or bad idea?
I actually think it's an excellent idea. Especially, since we don't have a national holiday after the Super Bowl,
right,
which we really should, and I don't know why Congress isn't addressing this serious problem facing our nation. But you think about all the hangovers that would be avoided and how much productivity would increase if we could actually have people take a little pill to get them over their drunken stupor and into the office actually being productive.
Well, wait a minute. So you don't you don't think that all those people claiming to have a hangover are actually playing hooky from work?
Oh, I do, but if they didn't have a hangover, they could come into work and make us productive.
No, but some of those people don't have a hangover. They're just pretending to have a hangover. Now you've taken away their...
Are you saying that you pretend to have hangovers?
No, I'm pretty much hungover all the time. But there are people who would need that excuse to goof off, and now you've taken away their one pretext of goofing off.
No. Really?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I follow your logic there.
Hey, Mel, good idea or bad idea?
It's kind of like the morning after pill, right?
No, the right before pill. The right before pill.
Say goodbye to the beer goggles.
That's right, Mel. As a person who relies on beer goggles for women, what's your take on this?
Well, I wouldn't mind, I wouldn't mind having this. I mean, I usually don't get much effect of alcohol anyway.
What do you mean? So you can drink a lot and not get drunk?
No.
You're drunk
There you go.
That's not water, it's vodka.
That's how we get him on the show.
Who's his designated driver,
I just
though?
don't have, getting drunk doesn't work.
Okay, would you make sure your daughter carries these pills? Because again, double-edged sword, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that right now, and I suppose right next to the morning after pill. But she has to carry.
Okay. Do you give your daughter the morning after pill?
I make sure that she carries them. That's for sure.
As opposed to like a chastity belt. Right?
Well, the problem is that the guy who delivers condoms can't. Oh, it doesn't come way out.
Doesn't
here.
go to her college.
No, that's right. You know.
Okay. John, do you drink?
I do not drink.
You do not drink. So this means nothing to you, right?
Nothing to me.
You're the designated driver for all your friends, right?
Yeah, so I used to have friends in college
Right.
because I could drive them to parties.
That wasn't the only reason you had friends in college, right?
It was.
I tried to tell myself that wasn't the only reason.
Okay. Would you carry these pills in the car for your friends now?
Well, now I don't have friends who need drivers who get drunk.
You don't have friends?
Well, I have friends, but we don't like get drunk anymore, or they don't get drunk anymore. So I mean, the pill has like benefits and bad things. So the benefit is like you can, drive afterwards.
Right.
But then, I think it encourages you to drink more. So maybe your liver
Right.
it still has to,
Still has to do its work.
still has to do its work and slowly die.
And slow. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure if the pill actually breaks down the alcohol for you, or just keeps you from getting drunk.
Right, yeah, that's the question.
So if it breaks down the alcohol for you, it's a good thing, possibly, right? Might save your liver.
And if it gets rid of the problem with your liver and the hangovers, then
Right.
it sounds like a good idea.
And you deal with the hydrogen peroxide thing?
Well, they got a solution for that, right? They
Right.
put something else in there. to
Hopefully,
fix it.
hopefully. Remember, they're all using it on mice now. So so who do you?
mice
A lot
like
of
to party.
drunk mice out there.
Yeah. So whose job was it to party with the mice?
Yeah. The cat.
Yeah, the cat. And he's like, yeah, who gets the mice drunk? That's what I wanted. That's right. All right. So okay. So right now we know that they're only testing this on mice. At some point in the process, they're going to start testing it on humans. Would
Would
any?
you want to try it on MIT kids?
I don't know, but would you volunteer to? Would you volunteer to be in the first test group for humans?
Well, I don't drink, so.
No, why not?
Okay.
I'll have a couple glasses of champagne, see what happens after I take the pill.
So, and then we'll have a real ugly guy right there, and you drink, and then you sit here. Yeah, no. Like that guy on that GoDaddy commercial, right?
Oh, dear.
He's like, you keep drinking. It's like, you want to make out with him?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, okay.
Nope.
Well, that would be a good thing to have around. Yeah, but I'm still thinking maybe getting it to the Penn State college students would be the best first idea there. So they'd have
Okay.
lots of volunteers, I'm sure.
There you go. That's not your alma mater, is it?
No, it is not.
Okay, well, all right. 'Cause, they probably won't.
They never partied at my school.
They never party at your school.
Yeah, Georgia Tech is not known for its parties.
I thought it was. Oh well. Anyways, the Yellow Jackets, right?
Ramblin' Rex.
Okay. Or is it?
Oh, my
the
goodness.
Bumblebees? Yeah, that's right.
I'll
An
sing the
engineering-
song later.
Engineering school known as the Rex. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Issue number 2 is holding it in a sin, and is it hip to let her rip? Danish gastroenterologist Jacob Rosenberg enlisted some of the finest minds in his field to address the issue. Is it okay to fart on a plane? The expert's recommendation is an emphatic yes for airline passengers, but for cockpit crews, breaking wind could distract the pilot and pose a safety risk. Holding it in can cause discomfort, pain, bloating, indigestion, or heartburn. The study also concluded that women's farts smell worse than men. Women fart? And what causes the odor? Sulfur. And how often the average person passes wind every day? Around 10 times. For further comment, we turn to the Yorkie that hates toilets. YHT, your thoughts?
Go.
You gotta go.
Is he attacking? What's inside?
Yeah, he's attacking the toilet. That's called
I thought you
excessive
just wanted
behavior.
to drink out of the toilet water or something.
Yeah.
YHT does not like the sight of a human bowel movement.
Oh, well, who does?
But he really doesn't like the sight of it. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Cynthia, let's see here. Agree or disagree? Let her rip.
Well, first of all, I have to go back again and ask, did Homer Simpson do this one? Because I'm pretty sure that he was sitting around in the control room going, what can we do a study on now? And this one had to have come up.
No, it was a gastroenterologist.
Named Homer J. Simpson.
You know how long it took me to learn how to pronounce gastroenterologist?
Very good. We're going to give you a little golf clap for that one.
I spent like all day
But
after.
I just think this just, once again, justifies what men want to do.
Okay.
So,
Well, we'll do women fart?
what?
Do women pass gas?
I can't understand what you're saying. How could you ask me that kind of a question?
Well, since
do you
we're here.
ever want to date?
Oh well, I think it's past that point.
Well, now
but,
we know you're never getting one with those kinds of questions that you're asking fine, upstanding women like myself.
Okay, so you're denial. Jenna, do women pass wind?
Yes. As my husband can attest. My favorite part of the article, though, was how he was saying that the seats should be redone so that they would have charcoal in them and absorb the odors. And he was saying that first class is worse because they have leather seats,
right.
so it bounces the smell back versus the lower ones where it absorbs it in.
Now, should airlines have charcoal-laden seats, or should it be the responsibility of the passengers to have charcoal-laden underwear?
Because the Japanese made that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Exactly.
I think, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we could hand them out with the peanuts.
Exactly. Should they hand them out with the peanuts?
Or
and
hand out Beano to everyone as they get on. Or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So, Mel, 10 times a day, high, low. What's your take?
Average.
Average.
Average. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was recently on a couple of international flights, and you learn very quickly to turn the fan up to maximum.
Okay.
When you're on those flights, because the guy next to you, he's going to let it rip for sure.
Do you let it rip on the plane?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
absolutely.
Are you proud of it?
They're SPDs, though, aren't they? So no one knows.
Well, I turn up the fan. Blow it over next to the guy next to me.
John, you're a Canadian. Do you think it's different for Canadians than for Americans?
No.
Okay. We all pass. They pass gas the same amount of time, no matter what nationality or ethnicity you're from.
I would say Canadians are probably more, try to be more polite about it, try to hide it a little more.
You mean they hold it in more?
They try to make it quieter.
Oh, okay.
Usually it's the noise that's more offensive than the smell.
You mean like those loud Americans?
Yeah.
Those loud, obnoxious. Look at me, Americans! I'm passing gas.
Yeah, we're loud.
We're loud and we're proud. But Canadians are kind of like.
They're
subtle.
They're silent killers.
Yeah, they're the silent killers. Yes. Okay. All right.
Silent
but
but
10
deadly.
times. Sound high or low to you?
Well, every day is different. Like some days you'll pass more time. Some days you'll pass no time.
Okay.
My
All right. So, who do you think funded this study?
Men.
I don't know who gets the money.
Actually, I think it might have been the engineers that sit around me at my around my cube, because that is the stinkiest area I have been in years, and I'm not usually used to sitting with engineers. It just so happened that I had to be stuck there. But there you go. It's like a miasma. I can part it as I walk through there after lunch.
Oh, okay.
You need to spritz Febreze on them or something.
I'm thinking about bringing the nastiest perfume I can find.
Okay, we're done
Jungle
with the segment.
gardenia.
Hey, can you harvest reusable fuel from methane gas emitted by farting? Let's see here. Who's going to tell us about that on the next break? Who knows? Potpourri. I have to take them literally, okay? Jeez. Issue number 3. Can the government collect scrip from those who strip? Let's see. Okay. The exotic strip club Night Moves is challenging a New York law taxing lap dances, claiming that they qualify for a state tax exemption that applies to dramatic or musical art performances. The club argued that exotic dance fell under the exception because it required practice and choreography. I'm sorry. They lost in New York State's highest court and are now appealing to the United States Supreme Court. For more, we turn to a spokesman for Night Moves, Candy Love. CL, your comments.
Is this how you practice?
She was doing so well so far. But hey, Mel, you're the only lawyer we have on the panel, so I'll have to ask you: strip club paying taxes. Agree or disagree?
Well, I agree with the strip club. They should not have to pay taxes. They should be exempt from that tax. But I'm pretty much an anti-tax guy anyway.
Right.
So, to tax these hard-working artistic workers is just got to be unconstitutional.
How many times did you have to watch the video before you decided it was autistic?
Well, yeah, we all know you did some extra research for this story.
I absolutely did.
But why should strippers not pay taxes?
Well, first of all, they are artistic workers, and certainly I think that everything that, every performance that I've watched there showed a lot of art.
Such as?
Well, dance is an art, isn't it?
You got me. I'm the resident Philistine of the station.
Yes, well, that's true. And I thoroughly believe that a lap dance should be exempt from tax because you want to stimulate the economy, among other things. And,
Amongst other things, yes. And?
Taxing depresses the economy, among other things.
Right. So if you tax more of something, you get less of it?
Yes.
Okay, and
absolutely.
you think less lap dances is a bad thing?
I think less lap dances is a bad thing. If it were not taxed, I would probably buy more.
All right, okay. Hey, Jenna, how do you think they collect this tax?
With a tax collector?
Yeah, how do they do that? How do they do that in a strip club?
I don't know what you're going for here.
Well, yeah. How do they collect the tax? How do they assess and collect the tax?
They have them report how much they earned, and then they take a percentage off of it.
Because strippers are honest, right?
Self-reporting.
Yes, self-reporting people are always honest.
Well, that's why they're going after them, right? Because they think they owe more than they...
No, that they don't. They just say we don't have to pay it at all.
That's right.
At all.
I agreed with the dissenting judge,
Right.
who was saying, it's not the court's place to judge artistic endeavors. And it sounds kind of puritanical, like, oh, we don't like what you're doing, so you're not artistic enough, so we can tax you. So.
Okay. All right. Okay, Cynthia, this is, I guess New York is a state that taxes services, right? And but how do you, given that if, let's say, it becomes more widespread, more states start taxing services, I assume, do you think this would also not be unique to strippers, but also other people who provide services?
Well, we do tax people who provide services, right? We tax masseuses.
Oh, no. We do tax them for their income, but we don't assess a tax on the service itself like a sales tax. Right?
Really?
Right. So the masseuse, will, however much income that masseuse makes, they pay a tax, right? Mm-hmm. But you don't tax an extra transaction fee for the service. Like, when you buy like a candy bar, right? The grocery store pays a tax for its income.
God, you're losing me here.
I know.
I am totally lost. Do you have one of those little drunk pills that I can take? Because I think I'm going to need it to really understand where you're trying to go.
You really should stop drinking during the show.
All I can say is that I think that every man will always argue that lap dances are an artistic endeavor, but I would defy any man to describe exactly what kind of moves were performed in front of him after the dance was over.
Oh, well, I could do that in a heartbeat.
Could you show us?
Can you answer
We'll bring in a lap dancer. I'll show you.
Or if I went and saw Les Miserables, I couldn't tell you about the dance moves they made there either.
They dance in Les Miserables?
They sing and do they dance?
I don't know.
Sing.
I thought Les Miserables was about two French women who are getting married.
I heard there's a lot of death. Everyone dies in the end.
Oh.
Spoiler alert.
Oh. Okay, sorry about that. We're at it. We're on to issue number 4. He came for a lift, but now he's a dead mastiff. A Chinese dog owner is suing an animal clinic after his 90,000-pound Tibetan Mastiff, that's one heavy dog, died while undergoing a facelift to make it more attractive to breeders. The owner, identified only as Mr. Yu, paid 1,000 yen to have his pet plastic surgery at a Beijing animal hospital last November. The poor little bitch humper died on the operating table 20 minutes into treatment. Mr. Yu later discovered that the dog had died of a heart attack after complications with the anesthetic. Mr. Yu, who runs a breeding center in Beijing, said, quote, "If my dog looks better, female dog owners will pay a higher price when they want to mate their dog with mine," unquote. So, what will the Tibetan Mastiff bitches do in the meantime? How about this?
Is that a rabbit?
Thumper.
Humper.
I think that dog was just faking it. She's just lying there, she's she probably just faked it.
It was drunk.
It was drunk, right?
The rabbit?
Hey,
The dog.
Hey, I know Mel was a lawyer, but I'll start with you, John. Meritorious lawsuit or a frivolous lawsuit?
I think it's a first lawsuit, probably. I mean, could the surgeon people be shown to have done it improperly, or that dog just had a bad heart already?
No, you never.
Take it.
I wouldn't know about mastiffs myself. You know, I'm more of a Chihuahua kind of guy. But
Yeah.
there you go. All right, Cynthia, what's your take?
Well, I know that they said in the article that there was problems with anesthesia, and you have to be very careful with anesthesia. So I can imagine this is a real lawsuit for this dog to have died because of a bad anesthetic reaction. And I feel really bad. I'm a dog lover. I hate hearing about dogs getting hurt like that and dying, even if it was his owner's fault for putting him on the table just to have his cheeks lifted or whatever.
Yeah, Mel, if Chinese people are getting plastic surgery for their pets, is this a sign that they've jumped the shark as a country?
I think so. I mean, look.
Would Mao Zedong be rolling over in his grave if he heard about this? Is this a little bit too bourgeois for him?
I'm sure it is, but you know, life goes on. I mean, if I were a lawyer in China, I would say, what do you want the outcome to be? You know?
Would you take the case?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Bitches got to get paid?
You just got to get paid. Bitches got to get
Bitches got to get laid? I forget. Maybe that's his theme. Bitches got to get laid?
That's right.
So you take this case, you think it's a good suit?
Sure, why not?
Jenna, what about you?
If I was one of his customers, like I had one of the dogs that, you know, had gotten together with one of his dogs, I'd be kind of upset because that shows he's really underhanded. He's like prettying his dogs up to make them look like better mates, you know, for the other dog, because they're a really expensive breed. So
Right.
people are breeding them to, you know, make money.
Right.
And he's like giving them plastic surgery. He's a big faker.
Because that never happens in America, right? With humans.
But with dogs, oh, it's so weird.
Why is that? Why is it okay with humans but weird for dogs?
Humans can decide to do it themselves. This dog was just doing his dog thing, and his owner decided to put him on the table and have him go under anesthetic. I mean, he signed off on it, but the dog didn't.
Well, that makes
Not that they
an
can,
interesting
but-
question. If you're a human and it's like you're a man and you see a beautiful woman with you know chesty and you know whatever, and you marry her, and then all of a sudden you discover that she had her boob job, peroxide, and nose job, and a facelift, would you feel deceived?
I guess it depends on what you want out of the relationship. If you think she's beautiful and you like what she's done and you're happy with the outcome, that's one thing. But if you're like, if she claims to be all natural and you want that in your progeny, I guess it would be weird. But I mean,
Well, if you
don't
saw a
know.
lawsuit about that, you know, the guy wanted to annul his marriage because his wife or he had plastic surgeryed up and deceived him, what would your reaction be?
I wouldn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole.
That's what she said. All right, we are on to our second break. And we're back from our second break. And again, since Timothy Walton has decided to take a day off, we are going to go to the discard pile. These are stories that we thought about talking about on the show, but didn't because we picked something else or for some other reason. So, first story is 40 going on 14, why today's 40-somethings never grow up. So, let's see who's... Okay, John, I think you're in your 40s. You
Just
buying
made
this?
it.
Just made it? You buying this or not?
When I was 14, my mom said I was 14 going on 40.
Right.
Now that I'm 40, my wife says I'm 40 going on 14.
Yeah, so you buy this, right?
I do buy this.
You're Exhibit A.
Yeah.
In fact, the Daily Mail, where this is reported, they may have interviewed you for this. Did they interview you for this story?
I do not recall any interviews.
Okay, they didn't have a picture of you up at their website, did they?
I didn't see the story.
Why do you think that's the case, that 40-year-old, some
I
40-somethings
think
don't
now
grow
that
up?
when you're 40, you have more money.
Right,
So now you have kind of more freedom. And so now you can act as goofy as you want.
Right.
You don't really care so much anymore.
right.
And maybe if you're married, you don't have to like try and impress chicks anymore.
Okay.
So just goofing off, acting how you want to act.
Okay. But, so I assume you don't have kids.
I have no kids.
You think you
Yeah.
would behave differently if you had kids?
Well, if you had kids, you want to play with your kids.
Right.
So maybe you'd still act more kid-like around them.
Yeah, but you wouldn't act as goofy or immature, would you?
Babies love that, I heard.
Okay. All right. Mel, you buying this? 40-somethings?
No,
Adolescents?
no. I have a daughter. I have nieces and nephews. I have a couple of nephews who are about that age, and they're not comfortable with me acting like they are. You know.
Well, but you're not in your 40s.
That's true. I'm a little older.
Right.
It's
But do they act that way?
Do they act like what?
Well, immature
Of
teenagers.
course.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
So you do buy this that there are 40-somethings that haven't grown up.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not
Give me your
necessarily.
nuance.
Well, I mean, my 14-year-olds act like 14-year-olds,
Right.
but I don't have that many 40-ish friends, do I?
No, you don't.
You know, you're getting close to 40, but you're not really my friend, right?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Your frenemies.
Your friend of yours. There you go. There you go. Opposite gender. Don't worry about it. It's opposite gender, Mel. Unless you swing that way, but hey, or you're a switch hitter.
No.
All right. Jenna, you buying this?
People are having kids older, so maybe it's people that are childless and, like you said, have lots of money and they can do whatever they want with it. So.
Right. So do you know of
Sure.
any people in their 40s that are acting like they're 14?
I don't know. How do you feel?
I feel like I'm 80. My joints hurt. It's hard to pee now. Oh my God, it's hard to pee.
That might be something else.
That's something else for
Could be a
sure.
venereal disease. There
You
you go.
need to go to the doctor.
There you go.
Drink more water.
Cynthia, you buying this?
I was just trying to go through my list of friends that are in their 40s, and all of them are mature, responsible adults with no serious hang-ups. So I just don't know where this story came from at all.
Yeah, even in the dating world?
Well, please.
How about your engineer coworkers?
Well, I have no idea how old they are.
Engineers are the worst.
They are, well...
You don't know. You have no idea how old they are. They're at the age
No,
where-
they just go into their little space and they just don't even talk to anybody. So they're kind of those big stereotypical introverted engineers. So I have no idea how they behave.
They don't make cultural references that will indicate how old they are.
No, they don't say a word, not a peep.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So they don't make any Star Wars jokes. No.
No,
Star
well,
Trek
most of them are
references?
from places where they probably didn't really get inculcated into that part of the American culture. So, but they're
Furners.
all Damn
Furners.
Furners.
No, they're yes, they're. I have a very wide selection of folks from around the world that sit near me, and they're just very, very quiet
Okay. All right.
and boring.
All right, got a minute. So next story, let's see here. Oh, shoppers who buy organic food are less likely to be helpful to other people, claims study. So they did a survey of people who buy organic food, and they found that they're less nice. They're not as nice as people who buy the non-organic stuff.
How would
so
you figure that out?
I don't know, but Jenna, you buying this? The Whole Food guys are assholes.
Well, organics cost more,
Right.
so it kind of prices out some people.
Right.
So maybe it's like the snobby rich people, and so it makes sense they'd be snobby in more than one place.
All right, so the rest of you Whole Food shoppers, you lucked out because I'm told we're running out of time. So, thanks for watching the show. If you want to send any weird comments, questions, or anything else, the contact information is below, Facebook, Twitter, and email. Later.